Alex from Schultz Reviews, and today I'm gonna do something different. Instead of like a review video, I'm actually gonna kind of do an update, show everybody what I'm currently using, and give my opinion on each one of these things. So, I do have a lot of people ask me, what is it you're using, or what do you use while you're at home, and what do you think is the best PV? What do what's the best juice? And the answer is there is no best PV, best juice. Um, it's different for everybody. It really depends on what you're looking for. Um, and this is what's working for me right now. Um, I do plan on eventually moving even further into this. I plan on probably trying some type of variable voltage mod, and I'm soon I'm going to venture into the high voltage vaping, just to kind of see how I like it really. Um, Other than that, same old stuff. So let's jump into it real quick. So the first mod that I'm going to show you that I use on a daily basis, very frequent, is my Silver Bullet. The Silver Bullet just looks like this. It's got a button here in the front. It is a recessed button, so it's pocket friendly. I never really put it in my pocket though, to be honest. It is kind of heavy. It takes one 18650 battery or two the small 123s for either 6 volt, or I think you can go to like 7.4 if you use two 3.7 volts instead of two threes. But this is just one single 18650 battery running at 3.7 volts. It's very well made, it's sturdy, it's not going to break on you or anything, and that's one of the reasons why I like this mod so much. It's going to last a long time, and it's very, very sturdy. So you can't really go wrong. And it's well put together. It feels nice. It doesn't feel cheap or anything. Uh, on the top of it, and this is what I use pretty much all the time. I don't change my setup on my Silver Bullet very often. And when I do get my 123 batteries in, they're on the way. I will be able to use this at 6 volts. So when that happens, I might start switching up my atomizers or cartomizers onto this. But, I am more of a low resistance 3.7 guy, so that's what I have on here right now. Right now, this whole setup right here is I actually have a 510 to 510 adapter, which goes into a bridgeless, low resistance 306 atomizer. It is a 1.5 ohm atomizer. I've got a black Delrin drip tip, and then I recently, I guess you could say, like special ordered this anodized aluminum drip shield to go over it, and the drip shield is actually black. It's hard to get these right now. You can get them at Empire Mods, but he's like always out. Well, he has been out of the colored anodized shields. You might not even be able to get the steel one. Um, and the steel one looks like this. So you can probably get yourself the MAP drip shield, which is made out of Delrin, but I had a really bad experience with that, and I don't recommend it. So anyway, Silver Bullet. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a, you know, vapor production. Show you what it's like. Just gonna put a couple of drops in here because, just showing you how it works. And if you put a couple of drops in, you just press the button and vape. as you can see, great vapor production and great taste. So the next device I'm going to show you is actually the GLV2. This is a recent buy, just kind of got this. Um, I use this every day also. I use it for my cartomizers pretty much, and that's about it. Uh, the GLV is actually just from here down. These attachments are not part of the GLV. It is just, like I said, from here down. It's got a little arm that comes out with the 510 connection. Button is on top. The bottom has a little end cap here. You screw on and off to put the batteries in the tube. It takes two 123 batteries. I believe they're 750 mAh, so it comes together at 1500 mAh. But instead of it running at a 3.7 voltage, this runs at 5. It's a 5 volt regulated device, and that's why I use it with my cartomizers. Attached to this right now, I have actually two 510 to 510 adapters and a liquinator tank with a dual coil cartomizer. It's mega size, that's why it kind of comes out of the top here, and a drip tip. Uh, give you a little explanation. I don't need all these adapters. I had an extra adapter sitting around, and I put it on there. I could get away with using either just the small one on the bottom or just the smaller one on top. The one on top is a little bit longer, and I find that if I use just the bottom one, it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for me to press the button. So I can't just use the bottom one unless I want it to be kind of uncomfortable. And when I use the top one, it is an unsealed adapter, and I just don't want any juice to have any way of getting into the connection on my GLV. These are expensive, and I don't, whatever. So I put them both together, and it adds quite a bit of length to it. I don't mind. I didn't get it really for looks. I got it more for function, and it does its job very well. I'll give you a little explanation. Demonstration of the vapor. Tons of vapor. This thing is a vape machine. And I was using the dual coils on my 3.7, and there's no comparison. This thing rocks. The dual coil cartomizers at 5 volts, if you can get a mod that will actually work at 5 volts with a dual coil cart, it is the way to go. And I can let everybody know that the dual coil cartomizers will work at a regulated 5 volts on the GLV too. Some other mods, I've heard of them having issues. It will work on this. I use it with just plain. This is a dual coil cartomizer that's obviously not in a liquinator. I use these as well. So this is definitely a product I would recommend to anybody, and I use it on a daily basis. Okay, the third device I'm going to show you that I usually use at home, I'm just going to do a real quick, demonstration of it, is the Ego. It's very popular, most people know what it is. It's got an internal battery, you can't take it out and charge it, you got to charge it with the actual unit itself. The Ego is this black portion here. I've got a low resistance, bridgeless Cisco 510 atomizer in here, metal drip tip, and metal drip shield. I use this when I don't feel like using a 306, which isn't very often, and it's kind of just a backup. Very dependable, the Ego. If you're ever having an issue, you can always go back to it, and it's not gonna, disappoint really. And I can also bring this out with me if I want to drip while I'm out. I don't want to carry the silver bullet with me, so I'll use this. Very, it's a lot smaller, less battery life though. So I'm going to show you real quick the vapor production. Great vapor production, very, very consistent. The last PV I'm going to show you is the PV I use when I'm out and about. I don't want to carry a silver bullet or a GLV2 with me. They are huge, not huge, but they're bigger and they stick out more. I'm not ashamed of vaping, but I'd like to be a little bit more discreet about it. I don't want to whip out a huge PV like that and have a million questions asked. I'm kind of past that whole point in my, vaping experience. So while I'm out and about, I use the KR808 batteries. This is actually a G6 from Halo. I will use a Volt. The Blue is another example of these kind of batteries. They're like the next generation of KR808s. They have improved battery life. I carry one assembled KR808 battery, and I have a PCC where I store two more KR808 batteries, and I also carry a very small container I got from G6 that holds the cartomizers, and I carry 5 cartomizers on me. They have about 300 mAh each one of these batteries, so add them all up, about 900 mAh, and then I've got the battery inside the PCC, which is an 1100, so I got about 2000 mAh out of this alone, and that supplies 20 hours of vaping. I don't need that much when I'm out and about, and I certainly don't need 2900 or something from my silver bullet. These will get me through the day perfectly fine when I'm out and about, and they're discreet. If I'm going to go on vacation or a trip somewhere, it's a different story. I would bring my silver bullet or GLV, but that's usually not the case. So I'll just use these, and I'll show you a little bit of the vapor production here. So, good vapor production. I'm going to make this quick, so I highly recommend those when you're out and about. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll be putting up some more videos very soon. Cali getting weeded makes it feel like Maui. Now we feel the good vibrations. So many females, so much inspiration.